Women's basketball head coach Aaron Johnston, our weekly update from GoJacks.com. Quite a trip out to Cancun, Mexico. We talked about how challenging this tournament would be. Down a starter and you win 2 games and come up 1 point short from winning the whole thing. Just give me your overall takeaway from the performance down in Mexico.
Well, it was a great 3 days of basketball, but more importantly, just a great time to spend with family and friends and people that really follow SDSU women's hoops. We had a lot of people there, far more than any other group. And it wasn't just our bracket of the tournament. There were other women's teams there, too, that we weren't playing. And by far, the Jackrabbit fans outnumbered them. So great to be there with just a lot of people that care deeply about SDSU. I think our players sure enjoyed the trip and got a lot of fun out of it. And then on the basketball side, things went well. We played really well. I thought carried a lot of momentum coming off of Montana State and Wyoming down into that trip. And we didn't have a lot of practice time. I think we had practiced, really one full practice here in town, had a little bit of a walkthrough down there, kind of a real short, workout, and then played. And I thought our team, like I said, carried that momentum and picked up some concepts that were important because all 3 teams, South Florida, Notre Dame, and Florida Gulf Coast, were completely different systems and styles. You mentioned it. We were an awfully good player down, not having Tegan with us, which was tough for her to not be a part of it, I know, but 2-1 and an eyelash away from being 3-0. I thought it was a great trip, and our team really played well.
And in those first 2 games in particular, really had to play well in the fourth quarter to secure those wins and battle some adversity, and you did that.
I think finishing games strong is always an important mark of any good team. You have to be able to make plays when it really matters, and we did really in all 3 games. The first 2 in victories, the last one in a defeat, but Maya really made a bunch of big plays late. Peyton was really good in both of those games throughout, but also late when we really needed her. We made free throws when we had to make free throws. Tori Nelson played great basketball for us, and those are all finishing kind of plays at the end. But then you go back and look throughout, a lot of times, the game could have got away from us all 3 games, and somebody stepped up and made a play. Lindsay Thunick hit a big 3 for us. Sydney Stapleton hit some big shots for us. Callie Tyson had a really nice game for us down there and scored with her back to the basket. So you saw a variety of players do it throughout the game, some really key players do it in key moments, and that's what you want to see from your team, growth. And I think everyone's getting really comfortable with what we're trying to get done on the floor and where people fit and where they should score and help us, and it really showed down there.
2 earn all tournament honors. I'd be remiss if I didn't highlight them individually. First off, I suppose it's apropos this event was played at the Hard Rock Hotel Riviera Maya that Maya Selland would return to the all tournament honors. 51 points, 13 rebounds, 13 assists. Did a little bit of everything, it seemed like.
Yeah, definitely Maya's 3 best games of the year. She played really well. Her and Peyton both just complement each other so well. They kind of know where each other's at. You're seeing some chemistry there on the court. So when one plays well, it's not surprising to see the other play well. It takes a lot to help those 2 because I thought the rest of our group really played into their system and into their strengths. But Maya and Peyton in particular were, they were really as good as anybody in the tournament. And we saw, our group and other groups, but those 2 were as productive as anybody down there in Cancun there for 3 days. Really fit well. They made shots, they made free throws, they rebounded, and they had to manage some foul trouble. And it's a great, thing to see experienced players be able to play through some of that.
Other point, too, in Burkhart, 47 points, 24 rebounds, but she made hay at the free throw line, too, and that's a big part of this with Selland and Burkhart. If they're going to get fouled as often as they are, they've got to cash in at the strike.
Yeah, and both should be exceptional free throw shooters. Maya started a little slow, but now I think you're seeing some momentum from her there. But, it's the ability to get fouled is really the big thing, and Peyton's a handful down low. She's just really versatile. She can go right, she can go left, posts up really strong. She's a lot quicker, more explosive than people think, so she gets by you and does draw fouls. And Maya can do it on the perimeter in post-up situations. She's just been really versatile for us, forever. But now I think you're starting to see that, confidence grow that she's going to initiate and make plays when we need to. She had some big baskets for us down the stretch, or some big assists, and both of those 2 were certainly, like I said, all tournament caliber, but they were as good as any 2 down there.
And as you've said, you asked a lot of Tori Nelson stepping in for Tegan Larson. Certainly seems like she's held her own and then some.
Yeah, Tori's been fantastic all year, really. She's 6'2". She's probably, her and Megan Boltzmer are the tallest 2 on the team, but Tori plays 2-3 and some 4 for us. So she challenges a lot of shots on the perimeter. She gets a ton of rebounds because of her length. She blocks a lot of shots in around the basket, and she's just getting more comfortable offensively with how she can help us. She'll make threes. She'll be someone that'll shoot a lot of free throws as she continues to get more assertive going to the basket and just kind of understand how she can score going to the rim, but she can post up. She just does everything really well, and you can see the game is always been pretty slow in her mind. Like, you can see that she figures things out very well, but now as a college freshman, that's starting to happen again for her. So I think she's going to take some big steps forward for us.
All right, well, let's look forward to the two games this week and two totally different challenges. Home on Thursday against Coppin State, a team yet to have a win, averaging right around 45 points a game, one of the lowest totals in Division I. They'll be here in Frost on Thursday night.
Yeah, we need a little bit of time off. This is a long stretch. We played 5 games, the 2 before Cancun, then Cancun in about 9-10 days. So a little bit of rest here early, then we'll get ourselves ready for Coppin. It'll be an important game to come out and play well, continue to try and establish roles for our team. I just really want to see that continue to happen, especially on the offensive side of the ball. How can Peyton and Maya continue to play the way they have, but how can we continue to bring some others, particularly our bench along? I think that group has got some improvement that they can do and they're anxious to do, but how do we keep moving them forward? And then we turn around and head out to Oregon after that. So it's a big week for us, but that Thursday game will be important to take some steps forward.
Oregon averaging 88 points a game, so in one half scoring what Coppin State does for a game. And of course, you're well aware of Oregon. Saw them twice a year ago, saw them in the Sweet 16. We'll see where they're ranked as we record this now. We haven't seen the new polls yet. They were one. But as far as Oregon goes, another example of your program playing anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, that'll be a fun trip. Great arena. I'm sure they'll have a great crowd there. We faced some of that out in the NCAA tournament last year. Not many teams have played Oregon 3 times in about a 12-month span, so we'll get that chance. Hopefully we've learned a little bit from the first 2. In both games we played them tough. It's that NCAA tournament game wasn't it was a neutral site, but it was a home game essentially crowd-wise. And I thought we played very well in that game, just couldn't make shots. So there'll be some things we'll have to work on to get ready for their talent. They are as talented as any college basketball roster that I've seen in many years. They have a number of pro players on that team, and so you just have to handle the talent that they can run at you in every position, and then the crowd and the atmosphere. But those are fun challenges for us. We have players on our team, as I said, Peyton and Maya played as well down in Cancun as anybody. Riley, I think, has been a real unsung kind of hero, so to speak, of our team at the point guard spot. She's logging a ton of minutes and does it in her way at that position, but she's playing incredibly well for us right now. Really proud of her, and she'll have to continue to do that. So 2 different styles in that Oregon game, from us to them right now, but we'll get ourselves ready to go and look forward to it.